Hi, beautiful beings, and welcome back. My name is Judith Molnar, and I work as a conversational therapist and a spiritual coach in Sweden. In this video, I will talk about the third dimension. And in my last video, I explained the differences between love and fear. I also explained the differences between the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. And I would recommend you, if you haven't listened to my last videos, I would recommend you to do it because then you will understand this video even better. So let's continue. So here is a conscious map, and when you down here from frequency 20 up to almost 200, you are in the third dimension. When you're getting up to a frequency 200, here's the courage, up to 400, you are in the fourth dimension. And when you raise your frequencies to a vibration of 500 up to thousands, you are fifth dimension. Today, I'm going to go deep into the third dimension because you need to heal your wounds to get to the fifth dimension, the golden age. As I explained in the last video. If you haven't seen it, do it, and then you will understand this video much better. As I explained before, you see in the red circle the third dimension, where we are living in a life of suffering and just getting by. And we need to evolve to have a better life. Humans have been living in the third dimensions for thousands of years. For more than 2,000 years, we have lived in the Pisces timeline. It has not always been so, but that is another subject in the future. Today, we are stepping into the Aquarius timeline, and I will talk more about that in another video. So, the third dimension is about competition. That means a few humans will win and the most of us will lose. And when you're in the third dimension, you will never feel secure. You will think and know that there will always be somebody else who is better than you. The highest emotional frequency in the third dimension is pride and contempt of others. You maybe think that you never contempt anybody, but it's so easy to get caught in that kind of emotion, like when we're driving a car, or when you have an argument with a family member. It's so easy to contempt others. When you are in a state of anger or negativity, you will create negative karma for yourself. And I will explain the law of karma in my next video. The lowest emotional frequency in the third dimension is shame and guilt, as you see in the bottom of the conscious map. When you are in a state of shame or guilt, you will feel very bad. Below the frequencies of shame and guilt, you will be dead. You will have 0 in frequency. Humans who are unbalanced emotionally and who often feel anger and contempt for others have most of the time the male side of the brain more activated. It can be a man or a woman, but it's more common among men to be in the state of anger and contempt of others, because they think it's better to contempt others than being in the bottom of feeling shame and guilt. And humans who are unbalanced emotionally and feel shame or guilt a lot, they will have the female side of the brain more activated. as you see in the bottom of the conscious map. It can be a man or a woman, but it's more common among women. The differences is because we are brought up different by our parents. I will come back to that subject very soon. And that's why we see more violence, rape, and murder made by men, and more women who are beaten, raped, or murdered in relationships. However, it can be like a roller coaster. Sometimes you can be on the top of the third dimension, and sometimes you are on the bottom. It can be a real roller coaster going up and down. Like the roles can change if you meet somebody who is stronger and bigger than yourself. You can suddenly be the weaker part, even if you have a stronger position before. It can happen in a new relationship, or if you get a new boss, or your friends are turning their back on you. The only solution is to heal the wounds where it all started, because the life we are living right now is actually just a mirror of our past, from our childhood. Unbalanced parenthood, mostly with one dominant parent and the other parent being suppressed in the relationship, will have a crucial effect on you. And parents who are punishing you physical, emotional, or in worst case, even sexual. Or if you have parents who are absent for different reasons. Or if you're living in a house where there is strong competition among siblings. If you're living in surroundings with poverty, sickness, even war as we're seeing now, and lack of education. It's coming also from bullying in school, because a lot of schools have weak leadership. You can blame others for having a hard time when you were growing up. But you can never change anybody else. It does not matter how much you try. You need to change your inner life, your inner feelings, your thoughts, your perceptions, your reactions, and your action. Because your outer world will never change until you heal the wounded part inside of yourself. You will never be sure of other humans' love until you love yourself. And you will not feel the love from others until you learn to love yourself. The outer world is the reflection of your inner world. The energy vampires, as I talked about in my first video and even in my second one, wants you to stay in fear so they can keep on controlling your world. And they are doing their best to keep you in fear. So, do you want them to rule your world? If not, stop listening to the news, stop listening to what others say, don't look at newspaper, start to do good things for yourself. Do you want the energy of vampires to rule your world, or is it time to be brave? To be brave means that you have to do things that is new and uncomfortable in the beginning. The urge to do new things has to be bigger than staying in your past behavior, in your past feelings, thinkings, and perceptions. Otherwise, you will do the new things for a little while, and then you will turn back to your past way of living. Because living your life as you always has done is so comfortable, and you know exactly what it is, but you will still feel very bad. You can keep on blaming everybody else for feeling bad, as a lot of people do, but nothing will change until you make important changes inside of yourself. Like having bad food habits. It feels so good at the moment to eat the bad food, but you will have more and more health issues in the long run. To make good changes, you need to see yourself in the future and feel the happy sensation inside of yourself. You have to concentrate on the vision and the happy sensation when the past is trying to fool you and wants you to get back to the bad behaviors. Because it will happen when you are feeling sad, when you are angry, tired, or when another negative emotion occurs. It's because the nerve system in your brain has not been able to create new nerve fibers to a new area in your brain yet. It takes time, and eventually it will work automatically. Because you have new fiber growing to a new area in your brain for the new habit. Like when you learn how to ride a bike. In the beginning, you had to struggle a lot to learn it. You were crying, screaming, you were angry, and you hurt yourself a lot, but you didn't give up. You didn't give up because you wanted so badly to ride the bike, because you could see yourself in the future. You could see yourself riding the bike and having the really nice sensation when you were controlling the bike and you have the freedom to go wherever you wanted. And your courage was higher than your resistance. In the end, you learn how to ride your bike without thinking. That is when it goes automatically. It is the same with everything you want to learn or change in your life. If you have a hard time to do changes by yourself, you can ask for help. You can ask help from a friend, you can read a book, you can join a group, or you can search for professional help. Never give up, but you need to be sincere in your needs. It has to come from the bottom of your heart. And you need to take responsibility for your behavior and emotions. Ask and you will receive. Step by step, you will climb from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, and eventually you will reach the fifth dimension. Next time, I will talk about the law of karma. That will be a really interesting subject. Thank you for listening to my video today. If you liked it, give me a thumb up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do it, and then you won't miss my next video. And until next time, take good care of yourself.